Sorry, I missed recording. Yeah. So that's what we call as the enterprise stage. And that continues. So you realize in expertise and enterprise stage, it's not that this exposure and exploration stops. I guess we all, even at this age, keep getting exposed to new things and keep exploring whatever is interesting to us. Obviously, the keywords are interesting to us. So it's the same with interesting to children at any age. So that's a little about our, open learning. What is Aarohi? Is just a community of families doing open learning. So that's the simple definition. And we co-create our journeys. We learn together. We collaborate on a lot of things. We support each other, mentor children, guide children, children mentor adults, adults mentor children, and so on. All kinds of things. Today, adults were teaching, they were doing today 5-minute workshops, and children were giving them feedback and mentoring them as to how they can teach better. And so that was what was happening between 12 and 1:15 today morning. So just to give you a sample of what goes on. And obviously we live together, not necessarily physically live. We can be in any part of the city, country, world, doesn't matter. So the whole globe is ours. We have the ownership certificate. I'll show you later. But the globe is ours, the whole world is ours. We have a campus, but every home, whoever is part of Aarohi, we consider that home also as a campus, which means we all can travel to each other's house, stay with them, enjoy with them. And we can obviously travel together to different places. So the whole world is, as I said, ours. So we like to look at it that way. We keep saying that to each child that you are the center of the universe. Now go ahead, it's all yours. Um, the thing that I want a little more to give me 1 more minute or 2 more minutes is to talk about Coversity. Coversity is for the professional journey, so that's the expertise and the enterprise stage. This is a little detailed infographic of what happens in a Coversities, where the youth get together and they work. They pick up a domain, and each one can pick up different domains, but they dive into it deeply, do actual professional work to learn the professional skills and the professional domain and so on. So these children, or rather youth, don't go to any college or schools. They don't care about exams or certificates because they are really doing the actual work, and the industry likes it. In fact, the industry loves it. So that's Coversity, the youth getting together. The key thing is they get together as a group because youth like more youths as their peers, and they really enjoy having a gang of their own. We call it cohort to give it a more decent name. This is one picture of the cohort, 7 of them doing all of them do very different things, different interests. Yeah. Right. So that's pretty much it. Let me stop sharing screen and end of my presentation just as a quick introduction. We can start. So just there are no ground rules. Anybody and everybody can share, ask, or take part in the discussion. Whatever discussions you want to have about whatever you want to have a discussion, right? There are no wrong, right questions or answers. Homeschooling, unschooling, open schooling, free schooling, world schooling, whatever terms you want to give, they're all the same. So don't worry about the terms. It doesn't matter. And yeah, we are here to discuss. We also had kept a theme today. Some of you would have seen the theme. The theme is, we said we have lost the curriculum, so we have found the learner. That was the theme. So if anybody wants to talk about that. Somebody did mention the word curriculum, so we can talk about that also. Yeah, that's the floor is open.
Can I have one question, please?
Please.
Yeah, this is my very first time I'm being part of a discussion like this. Very, very new to Aarohi. It's wonderful to hear about the thought process involved in basically setting up a system wherein which the child can take responsibility of himself or herself. My question is around the fact that since I'm very new to it, I'm asking this question. Is that you represent the fact that there are no boards, there are no curriculum, there are no exams, right? So therefore, Then the child reaches a stage where he or she has to take up a professional career to essentially as a part of the living, right? And if that means that they have to go to an industry and take up a job there or something about that, at that time, it's going to be important that the industry will ask for what do you say, the whole exam certificates and university certificate, those kind of things. That's the way normally the industry works here. It will ask for what is the which university passed out and what kind of marks you have. Those things will be the main point.
Sorry, your voice is a little breaking towards the end, though we got the question. Your voice was a little getting feeble and right. Right. Somebody wants to respond to this. So you are right. The industry may ask for certificates because that's what industry is used to. Right? If today you float an advertisement that I'm looking for XYZ person, and if you get 100 applications, and chances are all the 100 will have some certificates and degrees in it. But if you get 101, which says, I don't have any degree or certificate, but here is a fat portfolio of all the work I've done in the last 4 years, would you like to look at it? Would you like to consider it, see through it, what this guy has done, guy or girl, whatever? So I'm putting the question back to you.
In today's scenario, is the industry being open towards such candidates? Is that the experience?
Sorry, I'm not totally able to follow your voice. It's
Okay.
kind of,
Am I audible now?
yeah, you are audible, just that's not very, very clear. Yeah, please say it again. We'll see if we can catch it.
Okay. All right. I'm asking in today's scenario, is the industry being open towards the candidates who are
Okay, let's
currently
start with
capable
you.
of
Will
leading
you be open? Let's start with you. Will you be open to 101st guy in that pile of 101 applications who says, I don't have any school college, but I've got a fat portfolio of things that I've done which are relevant to whatever you have asked for?
Yeah, I think honestly speaking, I don't know. That's a honest answer. Maybe I could be open.
Yeah, but would you be curious to see, oh, there's this one guy who doesn't have any of the regular stuff, but he has something
Yeah.
else. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
I
it's
think
all
that
about.
that factor of curiosity still will be there. Yes, I agree with
Yeah.
you.
Right now we are fortunate enough to have a lot of people who are not just curious, who are very excited with this whole idea that this 101st guy does not have anything else but has lots of work X which he has already done, which means I'm getting a trained guy actually. Although he's a fresher in that sense, but this guy's already done this work. So that's the beauty of it. So the key to the
But
whole
when
thing is that the people, the youth, they actually do the work which is directly with the industry, as in they actually take up client projects, they actually do the internships. And typically, though, most of them in today's world don't even apply for a job. They do internships, and internships, they, within quotes, impress their employers and they get a job offer. That's the trend. The latest trend is not of interviews. The latest trend is of internships. That's where the world is headed to. That's the buzzword.
so the internships happen because of the pure self initiative by the candidates, or is there a
Absolutely.
support being given by Aarohi as a community?
Mostly they don't need support. Yes, they need to little work for it. So I'll give you the example. We had 7 youths with us, which 3-4 months back were looking for internships. All 7 of them literally struggled for 1 month to get their internship, but they put in the effort, they made their profiles, they contacted people, they did the networking, they asked for in different forums, help us, connect me to somebody. So they were the ones who were putting in the effort. And at the end of 1 month, everybody got their internship in their own 7 different fields. And they're all at internship right now. The internship period is still going on. They will be ending it in around mid-Jan, towards the end of the Jan. So the beauty is not that we need to do anything for them. The beauty is we need to show them that this is a possibility that you can do it. And then they go ahead and do it. That's their energy. And that's also their desire. They want it more than anything else.
these internships happen to them at which stage of life?
Sorry?
This internship happened to them at which age?
Oh,
Say around 17,
we have had
18.
even at 9 and 10 internships. Age is not the thing. The thing is, what is it that one wants? That's the more interesting question. And when one wants something, one goes about finding it. Or, you know, that is what an open learner. Open learner says the world is for me. If A person says no, no problem. I'll go to B, I'll go to C, I'll go to D. So what? Yeah, Dviji.
Okay, pause, let me listen to that. Thanks.
Yeah, so I think we should step back a little. I don't mean to say that your question is wrong. It's just that I feel that you know I don't know if you're familiar with what we are talking about when we say self-directed learning. So it might seem a little outlandish to hear people talk like this. So I just want to moderate that a little bit. Uh, See, first and foremost, I don't think we are looking at learning as the purpose of learning as securing a job, right? So if you feel that job is what you want to do, super, what job do you want to do? Then identify what are the things that you will need in order to do the job, right? The first thing is that, boss, I have to make up some time in my schedule so that I can do this job, right? Or learn what it takes to do this job. So it starts from there. And the idea of self-directed learning, the way we practice it, is to recognize that securing the job is not the objective. Doing that work that we want to do is the objective. So if it's just securing the job, then we will just try to crack the exam. But if we really love the work, then we'll go beyond what it takes to get into that room. And that's what we are focusing on. That if I'm passionate about something, I will, go to heaven and hell to make it happen. Right? And that's the energy, that's the enthusiasm, that's the love that we are trying to nurture in this approach. Right? So the idea of looking for a job is just happenstance. The interview is just a conduit, it's not the destination, right? So that's the whole approach with which we are looking at learning. That why focus on getting into the room when what comes after is the bigger part of time that you will be spending.
Dviji, awesome. And I want to add with one example, a little story. So there's this boy, is 18. He applies for an internship, an internship advertisement he sees. So he applies for that. And after some days, he's informed that he's not qualified, as in he's not selected. So he comes back with a little fallen face. This is his first attempt in internship in his life, right? Going out to the world. And he says, oh, these guys did not select me and all that. So we said, okay, what do you want to do next? He says, I want to ask them why they didn't select me. He said, okay, go ahead. So he asked them why they didn't. First of all, he made that call saying, why did you not select me? So the person who had kind of interviewed him, he gave 3-4 reasons. And then after a day or two, he again called him and said, Uncle, obviously the person is much senior. So he says, Uncle, can you tell me how will I get all of that, what you told me to get? Can you guide me? So this uncle says, okay, I'll give you a project, you do that on your own. It won't be internship, it would be you will be doing on your own. Now the beauty is this happened in July. And even till today, he's doing multiple projects for that uncle from that time on. So it's not an internship, but he's doing ongoing work under the mentorship of that uncle who rejected him. So who became his industry mentor? The one who rejected him. So that's what Dviji, I think, is very beautifully trying to say. If you're thinking about, oh, rejection, selection, this, that, then we are missing the bigger picture. Thanks, Dviji, for that. Yeah, that's what, and it is not just with a 17-year-old, it's the same with 7-year-old and a 1-year-old. If you know how 1-year-old go about doing what they want to do, no matter what, how many no you say.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
we should put a disclaimer. Ratnesh is not saying 1-year-old should be made to work.
1-year-olds
As in
anyway
paid
work whole
work.
day. We
Oh,
have to
they are
stop them from
all the
working.
time working. Yeah, made to work is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yes, agreed. Okay. More questions, more thoughts. Curriculum is the underlying theme, but we don't need to stick to that theme. You can bring in any other thought, question. Yeah. But I do want to talk about curriculum at some point of time.
Okay, Ratneshi, my question, it's like my problem is that because I run a school, I believe in this philosophy, like what you're saying of all this, but then conveying it or make the kind of what parents' expectation is, that's like a very normal question. How do you deal with that? And I'm they just feel that I'm just making children happy that my kids are. I have sessions like "Aao baatein kare," kind of things, and so we do a lot of theater is what I improvised theater is something that we use. But besides that, ultimately, when it comes to I'm unable to throw away the normal that schooling curriculum that I have to follow, and so I'm somewhere between that, which is not leading me anywhere. Because there are some parents, those who believe in us and they're okay with what we're doing, but then there are, so is it that we need to interview parents, those who are okay with your philosophy or who are ready to go ahead then, and so limit that or because see those children, those who are coming from not so lower, no, say lower middle class or middle class, so they are looking for schools like that their children learn to speak in English, they get a better school or something like that. The higher socioeconomic, those parents are looking for those status schools, or half of them would be interested in your kind of learning. Lower middle class is only interested that they're going to school, they're not concerned with anything else.
Sure, sure, Ritu. So that's the reality. So what you've shared is the reality, and so you will have to take a call. I'm sure, which you are already doing. That you'll have to take a call to what extent you make it open. Do you make it totally open, which is what, for example, like how Aarohi is, or you make it semi-open, or you do it this way or that way, or you do it in two parts, or how you figure that out. I don't think I have an answer for that. Uh,
Yeah.
the other thing is, I think, which actually has worked for us is to constantly interact with parents, make parents the part of. That's why we are a community. We are not a school in that sense. So parents have to be part of the whole game. So the more parents are invested in it, well, that's fun. First of all, great news for the child, not just for their child, but great news for all the children if there are more parents around, because each parent brings in a different style, different so see if you can. That's my only immediate thought that's coming to my mind is, see if you can involve the parents as much as possible. I know parents will be working and things like that, but even once a week, 1 hour, half an hour, it can make a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's if they're
Thank
just
you.
going to come in at the time of some kind of feedback for the child, it won't work. Then they're looking at the regular stuff. But when they actually are inside the rooms and inside with the children, then that will make a lot of difference. Which is why we keep saying open learning is not a child thing; it's a family thing.
Definitely. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi,
And
Ratnesh.
add on,
This is Mohammed. Sorry, you can carry on, Preeti.
no, I just adding to what Ratnesh said for Ritu, and I just want to add there that also one more thing which I think is also very important, that um, you not taking burden or pressure of convincing people. Like it's like people will come and people will go. They will understand, they'll not understand. They will be with you or not with you. You carry on your work. That's what I've seen Ratnesh and Aditi doing, and beautifully they are doing that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, don't know who was sharing. Mohammed, I think.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah,
Ratnesh.
hi.
Ratnesh, basically, this is my first time that I've attended this, and I've come to know about Aarohi through a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And she suggested that, I can go through this program and see how it works. So basically, just to brief you, I have a 7-year-old son who's presently not going to school
Mm-hmm.
regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that he only goes for the exams. So at present, we teach him at home,
Mm-hmm.
and he just attends the exam and he comes back. So basically, he with certain issues where he's not able to go to school. So now we have to find an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
So in that alternative, we were looking forward for homeschooling,
Mm-hmm.
because what was happening is that his studies were getting stopped in between. We were frequently changing schools, which were not very supportive in terms of him
Sure,
only
sure.
attending the exams. They wanted his attendance completely. So we were all stuck, and now then finally we thought that we'll start with homeschooling, because even we were not comfortable initially.
Sure.
We were also in the contemporary mode that why can't a child go to school? But then a lot of consulting and stuff, we finally came to a conclusion that for the child this will be much better, instead of
Okay.
forcing him to go into a school and
Sure,
then not
sure.
being comfortable with it. So this was a background. Now I just wanted to understand from here, how do we go about it? If it's say if it is like I'm sorry, there'll be background noises because I'm just traveling. Um, so from here, how do we go about? I mean, what is the option to continue his studies completely? As you said, they are free to choose their own path and choose how they need to learn. But he's too young at present to actually decide where he wants to go to, because we had in
Wait,
this
pause,
past
pause, pause,
one
pause.
year.
Pause. Right.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So, sorry. You said he's too young to start. Okay. But your son was at some point of time 1 year old.
Yes.
And 2 year olds, and 2 year old, and he learned a language, for example,
Yes.
and nobody taught him that language.
Yes.
Yeah, was he too
Correct. He
young to
learned.
learn a language on his own with no teachers at all? Only people around him
Right.
doing
Right.
what they were doing. Yeah.
I get your
So
point,
no. The
actually.
first thing is that let's remove that young and old. Right.
Okay.
Once you remove that, then you realize I don't know if you were there when I was making a small presentation at the beginning. Then there are
Hmm.
two options available. Since you have removed the school from the equation, now there are two options. Either you take the responsibility of the child's learning, development, growth, whatever, day, week, month, year, or the child takes the responsibility. Now, that is something you will have to decide as a family. If you and your wife wants to take his responsibility, then please go ahead. Then you have to figure out how to teach, what to teach, whatever. But if you want the child to take the responsibility, then maybe I'll invite Pranav. Pranav, share how the child takes responsibility, because I think Pranav started when his daughter was 7, right? So let's start with Mishti's example. You okay, Pranav, sharing?
I think I'm repeating it too many times, I think, on this forum now.
No, but it's
So,
invaluable.
I would rather. No, there are many records. Actually, basically, our daughter Misty, like she's 11 now, and we started with this open learning journey at the age when she was 7, and it was in those COVID times, and it was she who kind of after I'm meeting families, talking to families, understanding what this open learning is about, whatever at her understanding, and also I'm not saying her understanding was lesser than mine, or mine was whatever more than her, because we were all exploring. So it was just that we were trying, figuring it out. And somewhere she felt, look, this is something which I want to do. I don't want to study this, but I'm more passionate about, or not necessarily, she was not even clear about what she was passionate about, but she wanted to explore in a different way. And then we thought, okay, let's take 1 year as a call. Like, worst case, what will happen? 1 year probably she'll spoil of her schooling. That's the worst probably thing would happen. And that's where we jumped and plunged into this. Of course, we had those fears or inhibitions. Okay, how will she learn maths? How will she learn this XYZ? But gradually, I think that faded out, because we realized it is not about subjects. It's about how she conducts herself, how she lives, and she basically today she's doing several things by her own. She has found her calling for certain things. Few things have stayed with her. Few things have kind of moved out of her life. Probably they will again come again in future. I don't know. So it's just that she is living her life on everyday basis. And of course, and when I say everyday basis, it's not like just randomly things are happening. She plans her day, plans her weeks, months, everything. She works on projects, everything. So there is the curriculum is decided, or whatever she wants to do is decided by her, or whatever she wants. And I was in the beginning, listening to somebody talking about internship. So at that age of say 9, 10, we were walking around and we had a vegetable vendor in our street, and we just asked, hey, would you like to be with this vegetable vendor for a week's time? And she said, let me try. So there she went for that. She went to a saloon for 2, 3 days. So there are many things that she has been doing, and as a family we support her. We kind of be as facilitators, and that's how it has been. So it's a joint thing where we have all been into this. I think I can keep on going, but I don't want to talk too much. But yeah, that's it. So what I would rather say is the child is good enough in whatever age, whatever state they are into, whatever mental capacity, and so are we. I'm again saying I'm not no better than her or nothing like that. We have to respect that. We have to trust that. We have to believe in them, and then let the things flow. So that's what I would say. Yeah, that's it.
Ratnesh,
So
can you-
yeah.
Sure.
yeah. So first of all, Pranav, thank you for sharing your story. I mean, till now I have been looking forward to meet like-minded people to share this excitement about this new learning experience that we have gone through. And when I was listening to Mohammed, right? I guess I hope I'm getting the name correct. Uh, so when I'm
Yes,
listening,
right, correct.
yeah. So when I listened to him, I could relate to what he was saying because 2 years ago I was in that position when lockdown happened and my daughter was 4 at that time, and apparently junior KG classes were conducted online, which to me it was illogical. So we decided to skip it totally, and we started our homeschooling journey. That is literally bringing the curriculum at home. But that did not feel right as well, because it was like, sit here at this time, you have to learn this. And somewhere it felt that it was not very authentic. Then my journey towards this education and exploration started. I started reading a lot of Krishnamurti books and different kind of books. We'll get back to that later. But what I realized through that journey, what I was 2 years back and what I am now, right now, I'm not saying I'm there. It's a work in progress. But what I realized back then, it was more about my fears, fear of what will happen and trying to control everything. And it was more output oriented approach rather than being in present and being with the child. Uh, so yeah, there were a lot of power struggles in the beginning because the fear was overriding me. So I think uh, over a period of time, trying to know myself and trying to know my daughter, we gradually started ease a bit. And then we thought, okay, let's take a pause, let's forget about everything, let's just be in the present, and let's forget about curriculum. And then we could see how she's picking up things on her own and how her interests are coming into play. So once you start, I think with exploration, you will get more understanding, and being with the child gives you more clarity about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Reshma.
Yes, Mohammed, you had a follow-up thought from Pranav, so you can ask or share that. And we also had somebody wanting to talk about Jagriti, so you can also come in and we can talk about that.
So basically, I mean, since we are in this forum, and I would definitely like to start this. I just wanted to know how would have they started the journey? I mean, what is the process in that? Say, for example, my son likes building things, like making new art, making new stuff. So then, how do we go ahead and explore that? What are the avenues for exploration? I mean, whom do we contact? How do we go ahead in that? If someone could explain that to me, please.
Okay. Well, I'm sure if there are 20 people in this call or in any call, or if you talk to 20 families, you will get 20 different stories of how they started or how they are doing now and how they'll be doing in the future. And that is exactly the beauty of it. There is no one process, there is no one way. The only common thing I find in these families that I'm talking about, or any family who's doing open learning, is that they are a team. They sit together every day, let's say, and say, hey, how are we going to do this? So the question that you have asked me, I would say, go ahead and ask your family, especially your child. Hey, you want to do this building thing. It's not my thing. It's your thing. You tell me how you want to do it. What are your ideas? Whom do you want to ask? Where do you want to go? Uh, and not that every attempt will be in all of his ideas will be success. In any case, none of my ideas mostly are success. So, right. So the
Right.
key is what we use the term co-creation. The team is get together, co-create, be together. That will be the real fun is that doing it together. It's not one process or one. Reshma will do it differently. Twiji's family is doing it differently. I'm sure Jess families will do it differently. Pranav's family will. So every family will do it differently. And they will keep meeting more people, keep getting ideas from here, there, everywhere. And Jess has created a platform. There's so many people who are creating and making these platforms available. So that's the beauty of life, right? There are communities and communities overlap and families overlap. And if you happen to travel to Mumbai, go to Pranav's house. If you come to Bangalore, go to Diji's house, or at least meet somewhere and so on. They will
Right.
benefit from you.
Right.
You will. So that's the community part, which is so beautiful, is all I can say. So I'm again trying
Understood,
not to
Ratnesh.
answer your question, because anyone who answers your question will share one beautiful story or one beautiful process or journey that they have gone through, but that's not the answer. The answer is that it is only one journey, and your journey would be very, very unique and different and beautiful in its own way. The only thing we all
Right.
can share
Correct.
is we started,
just
we are
to
still enjoying. Yeah, Pranav.
Yeah, just wanted to add a couple few things, like and in this journey, be ready to fail. Like, fail is nothing wrong, failure is nothing wrong. Keep attempting, keep trying, keep doing things. Something might work out, few things might not work out. So, and it will be whatever works out is for you and your family. So be prepared for the frustrations, for whatever happens. And someday you will kind of figure out, and it's a slow process. Today even I can't say I have figured out anything, as what Reshma was saying. And as somebody wrote, they say WIP as always. So just keep trying, and you will land up somewhere good.
Right. Thanks, Pranav.
Also, start it. Start doing. That's the thing.
Right.
One mistake that I did was when we were beginning, we were very excited that we are doing this and we will be learning on our own. But if, say, for example, building blocks, so we always, because we have a conventional schooling, we always fall into the trap of finding learning in that game. oh, building blocks, so maybe it's related to engineering or related to math or logic. Instead of looking at as a subject or as an output, uh, let's enjoy the process of building. I have made that mistake as well. That's why I thought I'll share that.
Ratnesh, can I share?
Please,
Hello.
please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just few minutes. Yeah, so this is Harish from Chennai. So I'm just like, going to share my present state. So we are expecting our child in a few months. I'm also in sort of education space for the last 10 years. I've been predominantly working with mainstream schools. But over the time, what happened is I could relate to what damages schooling had on me, because that had been my realization over the last 4 5 years. But in terms of my survival, in terms of what I do, but I also love doing that. We set up maker spaces in mainstream schools, but they only give 2 periods a week. Like I only need to do within that constraint. So over the period, whatever we have been discussing with children, I've been a very silent observer of Aarohi and many such spaces in our country. And whatever we are discussing, it also applies to me at some point in time. Like I'm also asking myself whether am I loving my job? Like I don't like see if I could fit in the 9 to 5 framework. So there's also a question of a mindset, because I'm also thinking if I've decided I'm going to unschool my child, then how my life or my job or my family routine is also going to change accordingly. So this is sort of an internal reflection that I'm doing now. Maybe sometimes it feels very overwhelming at this point in time. I used to have debates with my wife on and on, but I know it's like we are in this together, and we're just trying to see how adults' life, parents' life has evolved after they've decided that they're going to unschool or open school or homeschool. Is there shift in the work that they've imagined, or uh, this is something I don't know if there is a ready answer to it, but I'm just looking forward to listen to some stories, even if now or even in other sessions. But this is my current state, and probably would love to uh, learn more about how uh, parents' life has been transforming over the time. Yeah.
So Harish, you are like when we have parents of toddlers, we are like, boss, you have come so early. You are still expecting the child, and you're already here. So I'm like totally lost for words. Uh, First, enjoy your life. Don't bother about your child's life, right? Enjoy your life, and I'm glad you are thinking about how your life is going to change. And I feel, I'm just sharing my journey. When we were expecting our child, we were very clear that we didn't want our lives to revolve around their life. The child has to live its life, and we are there, but that doesn't mean that I live my life through them, or that they expect that I will do things for them. So we were very clear about that there is my life and there is your life, and there is our life together, right? So that whole process of co-creation, it happens by nature. As a child, if the child is crying, one parent will take care of the child, or one grandparent, or one friend, or whoever, and the others will let them handle it, right? So you're learning something even in that process of working out, okay, who's going to address this, who's going to address that, what are we going to do, how are we going to handle this, right? So what I'm trying to say is that there are natural processes of learning that we all practice and in our lives, and the idea is not to make learning into this 9 to 5 job, like you were saying, right? Or like a 8 to 4 or 8 to 2 job where your child is going there learning, and after that there's no learning, as if, right? So
After that is the learning.
exactly. I mean, yeah. So I wouldn't say that learning doesn't happen in those settings. A different kind of learning happens. But the point here is that what is the objective of all this, right? If it is to make sure that the child is unhappy, or wants to, if a child, I mean, there are children, my daughter is one of them. She has decided that she wants to go to regular school. I'm waiting for her to drop out, but that's a different. So we have to let them live their lives. And that is the biggest change that you can expect in your life. Because at some point, I have a feeling that you're still feeling that you're responsible to take care of them and do things for them and make sure this and that and that. It's unloading that, like Reshma was saying, it's more about us dealing with our fears and our misgivings and our insecurities than about how they will do something or what they will do. Sorry, I went on for
Got it. Thank you.
So I have a question here. My daughter is 3.5 years old, and just recently I've started homeschooling her. So what I have realized when we are talking about ki what impacts parents pe kya hai. So what I have realized is the whole day we are doing homeschooling stuff, we are doing gardening, we are learning, there's nothing like you have to sit for 3 hours and then learn something. It's going the whole day we are learning something new. So basically I follow her interest. But then what I have realized, I cannot homeschool her as well as I cannot do a 9 to 5 job. I have to prepare something for her one day before that. Okay, we are going to do these few things the next day. So I think this is one of the thing that is going to impact you, that you cannot expect both the parents doing a 9 to 5 job and then also homeschooling the kid.
Yeah, that's Ananya. One way to look at it is that, okay, we have to prepare one day in advance and we have to do this for the child. As I was telling, the other way is, which Pranav was also sharing, is not to do that. That's also an option. That's what I guess in homeschooling, we are trying to still school the child, as in still work around that the child should learn this or child should, even if it is gardening. In open learning, we don't come up with anything at all. So people ask me, what activities do you do in Aarohi? I said, I have no idea. Because what activity will happen tomorrow will depend on who all is here and what all they want to do. Not something that we want to do. And nobody designs anything for anybody. Then everybody has to design something for themselves. I'm using the word design because it should not look like that one has to sit in some place and design. Somebody can just come up with the idea. Let's climb trees. And tree climbing happens. Yeah. The other day we went to a family's house and they just decided, hey, let's jump into a well, literally jump 20 feet into the well, 20 or 30 feet. I don't really know how many feet. And then we all did that. That became the curriculum, if at all you call that as a curriculum. It was such a big leap for so many of us who were doing it for the first time. My goodness, that was like amazing for many of us. So it is one way is to do it is, yes, I as a parent is responsible, so I can't do a 9 to 5 job. Another way to do it is, let me do a 9 to 10 job. Please do it. And still, you can very well do open learning, homeschooling, unschooling, whatever name you want to give it. Okay, provided we let the child decide now. And as much as the child is deciding, as much as I am deciding for myself, child is deciding for herself. My spouse, my parents are deciding for themselves, and the child's grandparents. Everybody becomes one team. That is the the beauty of it, right? And that is just, I'm not saying you have to do it like that, but I'm saying that's one way. Another way is to not design, but let the child design. It's some people call it self-directed or self-designed or self-led, whatever again term you want to give. That's another way of doing it. So let's not, I want to also say all of this to convey that it is not that people who are non-working, as in non-going outside the home, only those people can do it. Sorry, all of us are working people, including all the children in this world. We are all working people. What work we do may not create money directly. That's okay. It's still making the economy move.
And that's what I want to learn, because I have just initially started this thing. So am I lacking somewhere that I'm not able to get time out of my child? Is it like other parents? I want to know that are the parents doing it like with the job? Are they able to do this concept, or am I taking a lot of burden? Like I have to, you know,
I
be
think
there for the
Viji already
child.
kind of said that you have to live your life. The thing
Yeah,
is, we
yeah,
think it is my job to get the child to do gardening. Now, if she's not doing ayo, now let me do it so that she does it. If you are doing it for her, that's a different way. If you're doing with her, then that's a different way. In with, we let her lead and we do whatever she is doing if we have time. If we don't have time, I will do my thing and she will do her thing. But that's a
okay.
journey. Again, it's up to you, and nothing wrong with the way you are doing it. Please don't take it this way that it has to move toward this way. I'm just giving you the options. There are possibly 100,000 ways of doing it. Yeah, Jess is
Yeah.
talking about traveling, and traveling becomes the learning. So there are all kinds of ways in which people do it. Another thing, since somebody talked about Jagriti, so we do a small program. Right now, it's 10 sessions of about 2 hours each. That's a program not about open learning or unschooling, homeschooling. It's got nothing to do with unschooling. It's about to do with understanding the child and understanding ourselves as a parent. So these are the two aspects to it, and the program helps you to do that, and then whatever choices you make out of that understanding. And what does this understanding means? The first thought I would share is that we cannot understand the child. So at one time I'm saying the program is about understanding the child, but please realize we cannot understand the child. Now, now what happens when we realize that we don't understand the child? Then we let the child lead, then we let the child take, because only child understands himself. What is he thinking, feeling, and so on. So Jagriti is one little small program if somebody wants to do. Since somebody asked talk about Jagriti, I'm talking about. We have a new batch starting on 19th, so I'm doing little marketing here. So yeah, whoever asked for talk about Jagriti, if you have a question, you can ask. But otherwise, we can move back to the discussion about whatever we want to talk about.
Ratnesh, good you said that we cannot understand our child, because I just keep asking my daughter, tell me, otherwise how will I understand?
Okay, more questions about whatever, child, learning, open learning, unschooling, homeschooling. Not just questions, sorry, sharings also, anything. Okay, somebody's asking, how do I? Oh, I put the link already. Please go to that website, and you can always ping us on WhatsApp also. Plus, go to this link, you will get the details.
Ratnesh and other homeschoolers or unschoolers who have been doing since last few years, I just want to ask whether you have faced a situation where value wise, if you don't agree on something but your kid does it, so uh, how do you manage in those times? Say if I don't know whether I'm new here, this is my first time, so I don't know how much I can share. But so the dilemma that I am facing right now is she likes fancy stuff or glittery stuff, or getting ready, or so I can see that that is affecting her self image. When she talks about that, somebody else has a fairer skin and I have a darker skin, and we do have such conversation in our house that and you and coming to I see her, the parent is like, should I let her explore or should I um, guide her? So so this is one of the example very specific to me, but in your journey have you faced anything like that where you don't agree on something but your children are pursuing it? So how do you manage with that?
Today I met a 40-year-old man who is very dark in color. He told that he tried to use Fevicol on his face because he wanted to hide the black color. So that's the exploration he did.
I think, Reshma, I believe each individual goes through a particular journey, and the realization should come from within, whatever it is. So, as a family, of course, we can talk, we can discuss, we can have conversations around topics. It could be a healthy, good conversation. That's perfectly okay. Whether it's the same time when we say it's a child-driven thing, or it's like when we say open learner. So it is what I feel, and I want to kind of explore. I think that's pretty okay to go about it, and if the realization happens, it happens, and it's not, and there is no way of saying that what I am thinking is right. So again, so I think let it be.
We have 27 people. A lot of people haven't talked. I would like to invite
Yes.
others to also come and share your thoughts. And the questions are not just for a few people here. I mean, anybody can answer these questions, I feel. So inviting others also to join the conversation, please.
Hi, am I audible? This is Sophia.
Yes, Sophia, please go ahead.
So this is my first meeting with Aarohi. I heard about it from my brother-in-law, and I'm happy that I connected. My problem is I am very, very much the classic school system person. I was very happy at school throughout my life, and I expected the same experience in my son, but it didn't happen. So now I'm trying to figure out what to do. I have been through 2 years of homeschooling, and I could very much connect to Reshma's experience of trying to bring the curriculum into the house and struggling with the power struggles. So that, fortunately or unfortunately, my son chose to go back to school once the COVID restrictions were gone, and he seems happy socially, but academically, well, to put it baldly, he hates it. So I am again at the point where I am exploring and seeing what I can do. I don't know how to satisfy both things, that he doesn't have to go through the drudgery of the classroom experience, which is what he complains about, and yet has a social atmosphere and a place where he can explore while I go to work, which is very much what I do. So I don't have any questions, just sharing my background. Thank you for the opportunity for joining the group. It's nice to hear people having many parallel struggles in the forum. Thank you.
So, Sophia, you mentioned about that that how to have no struggle in terms of the studies kind of thing, but and how to have friends. I'm trying to see, why do you think so that the child will not have friends and not have company, not have people around him? If he wants, if he likes friends, people, he will find them in many, many, many different ways, unimaginable ways, I would say. It is not that we need to put a group of 30 children together in one box and then only they will make friends. Plus, it is not even necessary that they need to make friends with their same age. They can play with children 5 years younger to them, 5 years older to them, 50 years older to them. Friendship, companionship, learning from each other has no age to it. So social life has no age to it. In fact, we normally don't even marry same age person, right? At least in India, I don't know about the rest of the world, but at least in India, we might, sometimes there's so much. So are you getting me? So the idea that just because somebody's that only if I go to a school where other children of my age are, I will have friends is a very limited way of looking at friendship or peers or social. In fact, if I have the whole world for me, then I can make many, many different friendships of all kinds, including how Jess is inviting us to join her Lego. And I was, Jess, when you wrote that Lego thing, my mind was already thinking, oh, this kid loves Lego, that kid loves Lego, and they would love to play with people across the globe, even if it's 3 o'clock in the night. Why not? Why is time an issue? Who wants to sleep at 3 o'clock when I can do Lego? Tell me, if I love Lego. So Sophia, I think it's these constructs that, okay, school will give curriculum, school will give friendships, school will give this, is a fine construct, but it should not be a limiting construct. If somebody likes it, yes, school has all of these things, please go to school. It's great, awesome, amazing. But if somebody does not like it, then that's not the only place to find it. It's like if you don't like the dosa in the shop, you come and cook it at your home. Very simple, right? You don't have to, unfortunately, you don't have to keep going to the same dosa shop just because it makes a dosa that you don't like. Sorry if I've given a terrible analogy. Twiji doesn't like it at all.
No, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. Of course. Thank you. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Please.
Because I am in a school, so I asked my kids. It's a small school, 60 children out there. So I asked each one of them, which is your happiest time in the day, or when are you the happiest? सबसे ज़्यादा खुश कब होते हो? So two answers were not accepted. The nani ke ghar jana, or that was not accepted, but in the day, because that was the holiday time. So summer vacations were not considered in the day. So they said, when we are out in the garden, school ground, and playing together, and most of them said that. Another child said, that was a very cute answer. When when the bell rings or the teacher changes, and that time that we get between that time when the teacher is coming in and one is going out, and whatever happens in the class, that is the happiest time. And the third, there were only one or two who said with the family when we're having dinner, and because after that we all watch TV together. So these were the three answers that I got, when you are the happiest kind. But most of them said when we are out in the garden or with friends or playing together. So school definitely, and they do miss. So what I would say, Sophia, you have to look for schools which do not have that kind of an academic pressure, or have that. Okay, not freedom, whatever you say that, but that security and freedom, yes. Where they're not judged, or they just
And there's
be.
one more time, bus time, bus time.
अच्छा हमारा नहीं है वहाँ that is another story, because वहाँ पे bullying बहुत होती है.
Okay, more questions or thoughts? We have about 15 minutes. We close the session at 6:30 every Saturday, just to remind that we are there every Saturday. So, and we have been doing this for about now 3.5 years, every Saturday. And we have also recordings, more than about 160 recordings on YouTube of these meetups for you to see. The playlist is there. We also have a WhatsApp group where all these playlists and videos are shared and more discussions happen. So request you to join if you're not part of it. I'll share the link in the chat also. But meanwhile, I think Srinivas wants to share something. Go ahead, please.
My kids are 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
By default, we joined them in corporate station. One is already out, if not of the stress of the study.
Srinivas, your voice is
So
little
we are thinking
breaking.
of
Can you just check the mic or something? It's breaking or not very clear. Actually, not breaking.
okay.
Yeah, maybe you can come
Yes,
closer to the
phone
mic.
problem. Yes. Since he is in ninth class, we want to think of coming to there Aarohi for open schooling, and next to cover like that. And the other child is 14 years in ninth class, and she's also interested for open schooling and this cover. But the one who dropped out also from the schooling, uh, what what type of plan we have to and my
Okay, so I guess you are asking what kind of plan would be there for the two children that you have, both of them around 14 years. And the plan is very simple, Srinivas. The plan is to let them plan. And they will plan what they like doing, and they will then get into doing whatever they like doing. It could be they like making videos, it could be they like flying kites, it could be that they like playing football, it could be that they like making rockets, it could be that they like baking, it could be that they like doing crochet, and so on and on and on. I just want to give an example of one of our child who picked up this likeness to crochet so much so that now she's, I think, 19 or 20, and she has started a pan-India business of crochet with another friend. And also, she has also not gone to any 10, 12, nothing, none of those things. Though she has many more interests, so she keeps telling me, Uncle, this business is there, but I will do many more things. So I know she will end up doing many more things. Not trying to say that she will always be doing this business, but I'm saying, so things evolve. It's actually, things don't evolve. We evolve. So your 14 years old Srinivas will evolve in their own way. I cannot predict, and I don't need to. Nobody wants to predict anybody. The only person responsible for their evolution is they themselves. We are just there all together like a big, large family, there to support, help, fight, play, do all kinds of things together. If that sounds exciting, then yeah, come over, stay with us for a week. Somebody was talking about that they are anyway planning to come on 22nd. We have certain weeks for staying over. So please come over, stay with us. And yeah, you will at least experience how this happens. And then it's up to you if you like something like this, whether you are part of the campus or you are part of the community from your city, like Pranav and Preeti are from Mumbai, and Guji is from all over the country. I don't know where he keeps floating around, and so on. Like there's so many families from so many different, places. So
yes,
I'm
we
not
will try
trying to answer your question. I'm only trying to hopefully give you enough curiosity so that you come with your children. Please don't leave them. Please, the whole family comes. It's so much more fun to have the families. But if you're a family of 4 coming, according to us, it's not parents and children coming. For us, there are 4 learners coming. So please come as a learner, not as a parent, not as a father. Just come as a learner and enjoy that 1 week doing things that you like doing, Srinivas. And your children will do what they like doing. And that is life for us.
Okay, thank you.
Did that give you some idea?
Yes, certainly we are planning.
Sure. Looking forward.
Hi, this is Shilpi.
Yeah, hi, Shilpi.
Hi. So I also want to share my experience. My son is 17 years old. So presently he is doing open schooling. So he did his 10th. Till 10th he was in a regular school, and then after 10th he left school. It was his choice. Where we were little, in a fear. At least me, not my husband. Okay, what he will do, what he wants to do. In between 11th standard, he left his school. He said, I don't want to go to school. I want to study on my own. And during that time, he has taken science subjects. And I myself, MSc in mathematics. So I feel like, how will this boy will do? He doesn't want to take anybody's help at all and want to study on his own. So I said, okay, at least you have to go to tuition or take some help, because otherwise it will be difficult. So he joined. And then later on, he left that also. He said, I'm wasting my time.
I want to study on my own. So now he's studying on his own. And finally, I also agreed. And basically, I got confidence when you came to Pune and I listened to you. That was nice time. I got
But Shilpi, do
confidence,
share
okay,
about the
whatever they
biking
want to
part.
do. Yeah,
I'm
I'm going to
waiting for
share.
that. I'm waiting for that.
So actually, during COVID, he started doing mountain biking. We have hills in Pune, and so around our house only. So he started going there. He started doing cycling, then stunts, then downhill mountain biking and all by seeing YouTube and started learning on his own. Then we got him like purchase a mountain bike. Okay, he's interested. I was not knowing what he's doing on the hills. Then in between, last year only, he asked us, you want to participate in mountain biking in Ladakh. And I was like, it's your 12th standard. You have to study, leave it. Next year we'll go. Somehow he pursued us to go. And there I saw what he is doing. So actually, it is really, as a mother, it's like I get fear also what he is doing. And he has learned everything on his own. But he really managed it well. And the best thing is, during that period, whatever he did, he was fully aware and he used to take his own, what I can say is, in mountain biking, you cannot just do it. You have to take immediate decisions. And I saw that during schools, we never have learned this. Even myself, if I feel I'm a yoga teacher, I have learned everything after school. So during school, we were just doing a normal schooling. So when I saw this, I thought like it is good to give them, to do whatever they want to do on their own. And still we are in this journey. Maybe after months or next year or so, I'll be able to say what he is doing now. So that is something which I want to share. And let's see.
Thank you, Shilpi. Yeah, that's I still have your video. It is so inspiring.
Yeah, it's actually for me also what I'm seeing him and what he's doing different things. He's learning parkour, he's learning climbing, he's playing tabla, but everything, whatever he wants to do it, we have just let him do. You do it and you decide what you want to do. And definitely, when we have attended your session, it gives us confidence. And then after that, at least for me, I'm like, okay, let him do whatever he wants to do. He will come out with something. So thank you for that.
Yes. So if I were to again summarize it, I would say life is the curriculum and he's living it full on.
Yeah.
So superb, Shilpi, and superb to your
Thank
son. Sorry, I forgot his name, but
Hard.
right. Okay,
Hi
super.
Ratnesh, this is Subbu here. I'm from Bangalore. Basically, I want to ask what is the difference in online community and also at campus community? Which is better, online or being in the campus with all the childrens and with you? What makes more convenient for the child? So,
Preeti, you want to answer that? Is Preeti there?
Yeah, I'm here. So the answer is like it's up to you. It's a family. You have to decide what is convenient for you.
Hey, wait. इतना
Yeah,
सीधा
Vijay.
से देने
नहीं
लग गए.
नहीं मैं नहीं दे रही हूँ आप दो.
So, Subbu, do you like
Yeah.
Mysore pak or do you like gulab jamun?
Both.
Okay, good.
You
Both.
answered it.
Yeah. No, I mean, see, it's not that Ratnesh or Preeti or Vijay or Reshma or somebody else can tell you what's good and what is not good. What, like Shilpi just shared, right? Her son Parth did not enjoy school, and he didn't feel comfortable sharing immediately what he's doing, but he was doing something. And then Shilpi discovered what he has been engaging and how he has been, exploring and learning on his own. right? So the idea is not to build structures and make it convenient, right? Ratnesh was saying, has said this multiple times, let them plan, let them fail. It's okay, right? So that's the idea.
In fact, we call Aarohi as a Aarohi community of failures. Not people as failures, but people who are ready to fail at any time. We are ready to fail at any time. We love failures. We enjoy failures because otherwise we are not trying anything. If we don't enjoy failures, then we can only do what somebody else has done and rather let them only do it. Right. So that's the so if you're joining Aarohi community looking for some assurance, then the assurance is you will get failures. You will get failures, your child will get failures, we'll all get failures, and you will all get encouraged to fail.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I got your answer.
Yeah,
So
but
just
do
to
come
come back to
over.
your specific question, try out both things and then
Yes.
discuss with the child what works best.
And also
Not for
come
you.
over, stay for 1 week to start with, and then slowly, you can see what works for you. So that's something that we like, people coming over and staying. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Ritnesh.
I'll put the link also in the chat for this stay thing. Meanwhile, anybody, we have 4 more minutes. One last thought or question. Okay, I wanted to share something. So I that's why I kept this. People talk about what about mathematics? What about this? What about that? And I say, my personal view and experience is that mathematics is optional, science is optional, knowing parkour or mountain biking is optional, playing chess is optional. The only thing that's not optional is living. And if living is not optional, then that is the curriculum. Whatever makes me come alive is my curriculum. That's the way I like to look at curriculum. So when a child says, this is what I want to do. So there's an 18-year-old here who said yesterday to me, Uncle, I want to earn lots of money. I said, okay, cool, let's start. If you want to earn a lot of money, that's good news. I can get maybe some share. But let's start. And that's curriculum. So now his curriculum is, let's earn lots of money. If you have tips for him, please connect with me. I'll connect him with you. How to earn lots of money. So like that. So that's my quick thought on curriculum. Anybody else wants to quickly share? We have 2 more minutes, so we can possibly take 2 thoughts.
Quickly, I want to share something about Siddharth. So recently, when he was biking, he got to meet some of the other co-bikers on the hills. So one of them is 39 years old, and he got friends which are actually more than his age, what you were saying earlier. So, and he's mentoring him. He's teaching him mountain biking. So that's something I want to share, that like, yeah, you get someone in that.
Yeah, every day in the mornings I go play volleyball, and there was a 11-year-old kid who would come, and we are all like 20s, 30s, 40s, old year-olds playing. And this 11-year-old kid would come and pick the ball and do the ball boy things. And it's been a year, and now that bugger, he's playing so well that we are all feeling like, oh my, how do we keep up with this guy? So what I'm trying to say is that learning happens across ages, and there's no need to say that, okay, if you want to learn volleyball as an 11-year-old, you have to go play with 11-year-olds, right? And yeah, I mean, his friends are now coming and joining us. So that's the beauty of learning, and it kind of keeps us on our toes as well. So yeah, lovely, Shilpi, thank you for sharing that.
Open learners everywhere. So even in my yoga session, we have from 8 years to 80 years. Everybody is there doing yoga. And the 8-year-olds, they are like, when we are doing pranayam, then they, after pranayam, they are just discussing, see, I kept my eyes closed. See, that one didn't keep the eyes closed and all of that. So,
Sure. So I will just like to close with, I think that is Mubina's thought that she's saying, struggling mom and a businesswoman. So when you come here and when you interact with us, we will enjoy your struggle also with you and enjoy your business also with you, right? It isn't, we don't want to make anybody struggle free. We don't want to do anything with anybody. They have to decide what they want to do with themselves. So please, there is no hurry to talk. Whenever you feel comfortable, you talk. How much ever you want to talk, absolutely fine. Please don't think that there is only, just because in this meetup, some of us have been just blabbering too much. Please don't think Aarohi is a place for a lot of people to talk. There are all kinds of people here. We call it wildlife sanctuary, right? Because there are all kinds of animals here in that sense. As in, we are all the animals that here, and everybody is welcome. And that's what is the beauty of this world. And let's take it as that. Yeah. So just wanted to put that across to you. So yeah, thank you, everybody. It's time's up. I put the link for a week stay at campus for joining our group. I think Pranav has put for the the playlist also. So you can pick up the links. I'll keep the call open for a few more seconds, but we'll stop the discussion here with the reminder that we do this every Saturday. Next Saturday, we are having a debate format. So if you would like to debate about teaching versus facilitation, we will do that next Saturday, which is breaking his head. Okay, cool. So bye-bye, and keep joining in whichever Saturday you feel like connecting with us. And if you would like to be more connected with us, come over. Thank you, Tata, bye-bye. Have a great weekend and a great year ahead. Yes.